roast it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so one other topic I wanted to touch on that you and I were talking about is the new San Diego Zoo logo. Pretty sweet. It just came out. It's fairly new. If you're not familiar, if you don't live in the U.S., I'm pretty sure the San Diego Zoo is known as like the best zoo in the United States, and if not one of the best zoos in the entire world. Let's leave the ethics of whether or not zoos are good or bad for this conversation. We're going to stick strictly on the design side of it. But the logo itself, because obviously most people are listening, but if you're watching, we'll show it. And if you're in Anchor, you'll see the show notes at the bottom where we can link out to it. But it says San Diego Zoo, and then the logo has three animals kind of like that are thoughtfully, I guess, hidden in the logo. I mean, how would you describe this, Mustafa?
I describe it. Imagine the Starbucks logo, but with a lion.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it does have like the exact color, like the exact green. It looks like Starbucks green, and then there's like the three animals. I guess it's a rhino, a lion, and then the top would be, I guess, a bird.
a penguin or an eagle, maybe. The first time I heard San Diego Zoo was in the film Penguins of Madagascar, when Alex the lion is angry that he might be in the San Diego Zoo because there's a lion that he has to compete with. So when I heard it, I thought, oh, this is a joke thing. But then it's like, no, this is an actual real zoo. So, but yeah, so the it looks like a cutout, maybe etching. If I can't remember the artist's name, where there was like these pictures that I used to see in art college where there was two images and the goal is to find both images, because it's like maybe be like a woman standing and then a man at a desk, but you have to see because it uses like this silhouette effect. So it's like the first image you see is the white lion, and then below it is like a cut into a rhino and then a bird or a penguin, one of the two. I'm wondering
Yeah, but
how many
the thing
animals is it?
that's, I think it says it's three, but it's cool because they keep the design, I guess, language, for lack of a better word, throughout the entire zoo. So the idea is that there's hidden animals inside of other animals. So it's like San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance is all about saving species worldwide. That's like their tagline. So they have different animals, and then there's a silhouette of like there's a bear, and then a silhouette of a penguin between the legs. So it's like a playful visual. I mean, it's to me, I like it. I think it's like reflecting the nature of being at a zoo, right? It's like fun, it's creative. You have to find the animals. So I also like that
Yeah,
like visual
discovery.
metaphor. You have to discover. A lot of times when you go to a zoo, you're staring at a cage or space for a while to find the animal. So I like that this is like a visual representation of that. Obviously, it's a little easier, but um,
They also designed their own typeface called Animalistic, and I think it makes more sense when you actually see the posters, where like there's a polar bear and a penguin like it's hidden into one poster. There's like an eagle and I think it's like a duck, and then you have a
yeah,
monkey or a baboon with like a small pheasant type bird next to it in between the legs. But it's like that becomes part of the discovery thing, and I think that makes it quite conceptual and really nice. Where, like you said, people are always looking for the animals, and now it's like you're physically doing it while on the street, on the road, wherever. And so that, like, this is the challenge of when you look at these branded logos in isolation. It sometimes looks very basic or simplistic, but when you see it in the context of where it sits, that's when you understand the whole message of what they're trying to achieve. And the most likely place you're going to see it will be on a poster, an ad, or whatever.
yeah,
And then you look at the shape is like the round shape is perfect for most formats, web, mobile, desktop, whatever, because obviously brands have to evolve to be in multiple spaces and multiple shapes. If they're not just singular logos anymore,
yeah,
and they have to transcend that. Because before, the classic thing for logos back in the day was you'd always have to print it or photocopy it a couple of times over just to see legibility, because most things were faxed. So you wanted to make sure that a brand is legible when it's being faxed. In today's
right,
world, that doesn't really apply because we don't fax anything anymore. But brands have to be flexible in different spaces. So even conversational UI, how does the brand still transcend there? So you can see why this has been updated and why brands typically have this more flexible approach to how their logo looks, is because of
yeah.
where it's going to sit.
I think that's a great great summary. So, final review. Thumbs up, thumbs down of the new.
A thumbs
design.
up. Absolutely, that's really, really, really cool. I think, yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
it's a
me wanna
thumbs
go.
up. It's very cool. Makes me want to go to the zoo as well.
Maybe we'll go together one day and film live from the zoo.
That would be very cool.